Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video here on Serene Ball Talk, a place where we create positive and safe environments for people to talk about sports, people to have intelligent conversations about the teams and sports that they love, and a place where people can be able to sit back, relax, and get any information and stay up to date on current events across the sports world. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We're here trying to reach 100 subscribers. Please support, share the video wherever you can. Let's get into today's video. Today we are covering day one of the 2025 NFL Draft. I'm going to be going through, giving stats about some of the drafted players and just giving overall grades on these first round picks. So coming in at pick 1-1, we have Cameron Ward out of the University of Miami, quarterback. I'm saying very, very great player. The obvious number one pick, it had been mocked everywhere, highest QB prospect on everyone's board. Tennessee obviously comes in and they address an immediate need as they have decided to move on from Will Levis. This was pretty much the easiest number one pick we've had since probably Trevor Lawrence was drafted first back in 2019. No one thought otherwise. No one thought against it. No one has had anything bad to say about Cam Ward either. Pretty much everywhere you look, everyone can agree that this kid is a baller, and everyone agrees that Tennessee has, in fact, picked up an amazing player. So Cam Ward finishes as ACC Offensive Player and Player of the Year and an All-American. He finishes with the D1 touchdown record, or D1 passing touchdown record with 158 from his time at Incarnate Ward, Washington State, and his senior season at Miami. He also came in his only season at Miami and set the single season passing yards record and touchdown record with 4,313 yards on 67% completion, along with 39 touchdowns in 13 games. Again, absolute baller. And everyone loves him. High football IQ, great improviser. Drawing a lot of comparisons to Kyler Murray, Jordan Love, Russell Wilson, guys that know how to get out of the pocket, Aaron Rodgers, guys with great arm talent, very accurate, very mobile, just an all-around great pick for Tennessee. I give this grade an A. Just saying, no problem, no complaints. Just saying, saw it from a mile away. Everyone can agree that this is an amazing pick. So next pick goes to Jacksonville, and they select Travis Hunter, two-way phenom, the nation's best wide receiver and cornerback, won the Bednarik for being the best cornerback, the Biletnikoff for being the best receiver, and also won the Heisman for being college football's most outstanding player on the season. He finished the season with 1,260 yards receiving with 15 touchdowns in 13 games on offense and 11 pass deflections, 4 interceptions, and 36 solo tackles, along with a forced fumble on defense. Just an all-around stud. You've never seen a talent like this on either side of the ball. And when you put both two amazing players, he's an amazing player on both sides of the ball. You put that into one person, he is an asset for years to come for any franchise that drafts him. Good job on Jacksonville for jumping up in the draft to receive a player like this. They now have an excellent weapon on offense to pair aside Brian Thomas Jr. to make Trevor Lawrence's job easier. Just an all-around amazing pick. I give this an A+, honestly. A great wide receiver to put next to Brian Thomas Jr., along with addressing a glaring need in their secondary on defense. He fills two birds with one stone. You just can't beat this type of player. You've never seen a talent like this, to put it simply. Again, nation's best corner, nation's best receiver, and Heisman winner, along with being an All-American, Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, and an academic All-American as well, while maintaining, he says, a 3.7 or 3.9 GPA. Just an all-around amazing kid, amazing player. Will come in and be a day one game changer for the Jaguars. This is something they need, someone to help them reset the culture there. They were able to make the playoffs. Then last year they had a bad slump and ended up missing the postseason. They need that extra help. It's only going to pay dividends for them. I say A+, A+ on this pick for Jacksonville. So next we get to talk about one of my favorite players in this year's draft, in Abdul Carter, going to the New York Giants. Drafted at 3rd overall, just an absolute mammoth of a talent. 6'3", 250 pounds, and ran a 4.48 40-yard dash. 6'3", 250 with a sub 4.5. That's incredible. Incredible stuff. All the physical attributes to be a day one starter for the New York Giants. And saying not what was expected of the Giants. And a lot of teams thought that they would go to QB. I even thought they would go QB. But we have a mammoth of a talent like Abdul Carter just fall into your lap at that 3rd overall pick. You've got to go with it. You know, all consensus All-American, Big Ten DPOY, led all of D1 college football with 24 tackles for loss and adds on 12 sacks. You can't beat that type of production, especially playing for Penn State, who made a deep CFP playoff run. He had 24 tackles for losses and 12 sacks in 16 games. Just an absolute stud. I can't be more excited to see what he does next to Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau. They're about to wreak havoc across the NFC East. You know what I mean? I don't think, you know what I'm saying, they're going to be competing right there with the Philadelphia Eagles for the best front four in football. They are going to dominate teams just at the line of scrimmage and at the point of attack. Grade A plus almost. No, I'll give it A. A grade for the New York Giants. Great pick, a great player. I'm very excited to see what he does as a rookie next to a veteran like Dexter Lawrence and guys like Kayvon Thibodeau who get to the QB and just absolutely make QB's lives terrible. At pick 1-4, we have Will Campbell to the Patriots. This is going to be the first reach of the draft to me personally. Will Campbell's not a bad player, held his own against many of the SEC's NFL-ready pass rushers, but was just not the best player available at this position. We have guys like Kelvin Banks Jr. and Armand Mimbo on the board. I would rather have seen the Patriots take one of those guys at this spot simply because the Patriots could have traded back and still gotten Will Campbell. A lot of teams were very wary of his short wingspan. At the combine, he was measured at 32 inches and 5/8. At his pro day, it was 33 inches, which is still a very short wingspan for a guy that's 6'6", 319 pounds. A lot of teams were worried about playing him at tackle, but he ran a sub-5 40. If he does not work out at tackle, he could probably switch to guard and still be very agile. So I will give them some points on the possibility of him playing two different positions on the line because that does add extra depth to those trenches. But I would just have to say B minus here, B minus or B here, just because they could have either traded back for extra draft capital or just picked one of the more premier tackle prospects that were available at this spot since they took the first tackle off the board. Next up, Mason Graham to the Cleveland Browns at 5th overall. The national champion and 2024 All-American from Michigan finished the season with 45 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 3.5 sacks from the interior D-line position. Just an absolute stud, right? Comes in at 6'2", 296 pounds, ran a 5.07 40-yard dash. Just a very quick twitch player. Great run defender and a great player to place alongside Myles Garrett. Really no complaints about this pick right here. And I give the Browns an A because of the haul they were able to get from the Jaguars, who took the number 2 pick to draft Travis Hunter. The Browns received the Jags' 5th overall pick, this year's 2nd overall pick, this year's 4th overall pick, and the Jags' first round pick for the 2026 draft as well. So to be able to draft back, or to be able to trade back, and still draft the guy that you wanted, A plus, truly, right? I'm keeping it an A, but I really want to say A plus. Just an all-around amazing pick. I have to, understand, hats off to the Browns to being able to pair another guy down there with Myles Garrett. Hopefully, Mason Graham can eat up some of those double teams so Myles Garrett gets more free rushes off the edge. At pick number 6, we have Ashton Jeanty going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Amazing pick in my opinion, adds a dynamic layer to their offense with Brock Bowers and Geno Smith now being there. At 5'8", 211 pounds, Ashton Jeanty led the nation in carries with 374 and rushing yards with 2,601 and was second in rushing touchdowns with 29. You know what I'm saying? Just the Vegas adds a rushing workhorse back that makes Geno's job easier as he likes to excel in play action. That'll open up extra things for Brock Bowers. Just a great pick. I want to give them an A+, but I'm going to go A only because of Jeanty's contract. Because Ashton Jeanty was selected 6th overall in the draft, he is now the second highest paid running back in the NFL without ever having seen the turf. And that's a very, very scary thing because if he's not good, he's already guaranteed $32 million over the course of his rookie deal if they have to pay him out. So I believe he's going to be great anyway. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but just in case, things happen, I just do not like that price tag. So I'll give them an A, for the pick, but all around great player. All right, with the 7th overall pick, we have Armand Mimbo going to the New York Jets. A great pick, 6'4", 332 pounds, and extremely agile, considered one of, if not the top tackle prospect in this year's draft. And the Jets pick him up, which helps them address a glaring issue that they've had during the Aaron Rodgers tenure with pass pro. They're saying a day one starter, a game changer for their offensive line. Mimbo played in the SEC for Missouri and did not allow a single sack during the 2024 season. Let me say that again. Played in the SEC and did not allow a single sack during the 2024 regular season. That includes games against South Carolina, Oklahoma, Alabama, Arkansas, and Texas A&M. Some of the best defenses in the nation did not give up a single sack to any pass rushers. We're talking about guys like Jahad Campbell and Shamar Stewart, Luke Kennard. You had real good pass rushers that he had to see and went up against. Did not allow a single sack. You know, A+ for the Jets. Again, addressing an issue that they needed, especially since they're signing Justin Fields, who is still a developing QB. All around great pick, no complaints. All right, at pick 8, we have Teteroa McMillan going to the Carolina Panthers. Great pickup for the Panthers in particular. May not have been the best wide receiver on the board, but he definitely fit a specific need for the Panthers as he's 6'4", a great jump ball receiver, a big target for Bryce Young, who we know has sometimes struggled with accuracy, but was really able to put it all together at the end of last season. So giving him a true receiving target at like Teteroa McMillan and putting him next to Xavier Legette, they have their speedster and their possession jump ball guy. I love the pick, love it. Bryce Young actually went up to the GM and requested that Teteroa McMillan be drafted to the Panthers himself, and it turns out that they have been working out together in LA, already building a good connection, just trying to get that, get that good timing and good chemistry for early next season. So hopefully Bryce Young can avoid a lot of those early season woes that he's had since being in Carolina. All right, with the 9th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, we have Kelvin Banks Jr., tackle from the University of Texas, going to New Orleans. Now, I hate to give the Saints credit for anything, but they definitely picked up the tackle that I liked the most in this year's draft. He was the second best prospect next to Armand Mimbo, and only allowed 3 sacks in 3 years as a starter at Texas with 1,360 pass pro reps to his name. That's amazing. Nothing short of amazing. 6'5", 315 with a strong lower body. He's able to really move his feet against speed rushers and power rushers in pass pro. Can really pick up guys at the second level in the run game. Just a real dynamic blocker, real great. He can also probably play guard if he struggles on the outside against some guys. He only gave up 1 sack last season to, I think it was in the Georgia game that Texas played. So just all-around great player again. Hate to give the Saints credit, but I give them an A- on this pick. Coming in at the 10th pick, we have Colston Loveland going to the Chicago Bears. Personally, I'm not a fan of this pickup. Caleb Williams was the most sacked QB in the NFL last season, so adding another pass catcher doesn't help the situation, and especially not Colston Loveland because he's not a very good blocker at that inline tight end position. I would have rather have seen them get somebody like Tyler Warren if they wanted a dual pass catcher and blocker, seeing as how their O-line is just not very good. I just also would have had Tyler Warren as the best available tight end in general. So if they were in the market for that position, he was there for them. I don't see a reason why they would have picked Loveland over Warren. You got that Loveland is a bad player, but when you have the best guy at that position, who was just an all-around stud out of Penn State, I just don't understand this pick in particular. And I just don't also understand the addition of another pass catcher when, again, their biggest concern should be O-line, 100%. Caleb Williams does not do the O-line many justices by scrambling and trying to make extended plays. But even without that, the O-line was particularly bad. You can't really justify adding another pass catcher. Hopefully they'll be able to go heavy on the pass protection in the later rounds because this pick, I'm not a fan. All right, guys, so I'm going to stop here at the 10th pick for this video. I'll probably upload another video, probably break this down into 3 parts where I'm just continuing to analyze picks in the first round. This video is getting kind of long. So I'll catch you guys next time. Remember to subscribe to Serene Ball Talk here on YouTube. And also check out serene.ball.talk on TikTok and Serene Ball Talk on Insta and Serene Ball Talk on X as well. Follow all socials, like, comment, subscribe, and continue to share my videos. I know I've been doing really well, and I appreciate everybody that's watching. So please just remember, share everything, leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thank you, guys.